And of course we cannot leave the hand just like this, the arm, and we will continue working on it. We are on the same subtool now, the subtool of this thing, and it doesn't look super nice because of those polygons here, so I will zero mesh it one more time to see what's happening. And still it's not exactly the best because we need more polygons in this area here, so we will be able to make this kind of groove. It's not a groove, but whatever, we have to make it, so it will be good to have polygons there. Because if we have less polygons there now, while we need more, after we subdivide, in some places we'll have to subdivide it. In a level that in some places it will be too much geometry unneeded, and in some places it will be not enough. But that are concerns, you know, when you are a beginner in ZBrush, that is not a big concern yet. That are more advanced concerns, if we can say so. So now let's make thickness of those parts. Z-modeler, go to a poly, extrude all polygons. So we will extrude now. Let's try that. Extrude inward, and it's gone. And we have to flip to see it. Okay, we flipped and it's there. It's cool. And now we will extrude also this one. Extrude inward a lot, and then flip and see it. So I extruded kind of a lot, more than I need, because it will be better to have it more than we need than to have it not enough extruded. Yes. So everything looks pretty awesome now, but I want to do one more thing. Let's move this a little bit upward like this. I want to go inside and make this inside polygroup go over the outside polygroup, so we have this kind of in between, the thickness visible from here, for example. How do we do that? And if you don't understand what we want to do, just watch. So now we can control click with first. If we want to select one polygroup and mask everything else, we have to go to our pivot, and now we are on pivot mode, although we don't see the pivot. But if we control click on this, our pivot is coming there, and also only this polygroup became unmasked. Everything else is masked. And then with the move brush, we go and move this upwards. And that's what I want to do. Move this upward so it's more visible from a lot of places. This will give us a little bit more readability, I think, of this part. But that's just my opinion. We'll see how it goes. But this was a good time to show you how to use the pivot, not the pivot, but the 3D gizmo. This is the 3D gizmo. How to use it to just select different polygroups. And now, very important, when you have this kind of extruded mesh, low poly and everything, don't ever use Dynamesh again on it. Use Dynamesh only for the beginning, for the main forms and stuff. And after you do the low poly, after you do extrusion and then zero mesher and everything, don't do Dynamesh. It will be a big mistake. You will have a mesh that you will not be able to control easily like we are controlling it here, because low polys are much easier to control than high polys. So that's a big tip, and hopefully you will remember. When we have this, we have it and it's cool. Don't Dynamesh it ever. So now I will control drag to disable the mask. Then I will go to the hand and just smooth around these areas here. Disable the mask again on it, on the arm itself, and smooth. So, and then I will go with my standard brush with Alt just to push this down. And also we can do it with 5, which is a high polish brush. The high polish brush, we're doing this, and we will do also this. We don't need these things anymore. We have them as a separate object, so we don't need them to be appearing in here. Even they are obstructing us from having a good looking hand or arm, for that matter. Yeah, probably you already understood that I am always, or kinda most of the times, say arm and I mean say a hand and I mean arm. But that's just the way I am. Okay, now you notice that I'm not using symmetry, and I don't particularly care about this now, because I can just, you know, Control Shift and then Alt. When we Control Shift drag, we see this, and I'm holding Control Shift, I'm dragging, and then we just press Alt, and you know, we can erase this, del hidden. Now we don't have the other arm, and we don't need it, you will see, because we will just do what? We'll see what we will do. But let's continue working on this. So now I would like to put one more, insert a polygroup here. You notice? Insert. It will be good to have one more row of polygons here. When we subdivide, it will be easier to make a detailing here, because we will have more geometry when we subdivide. Yeah, I'm just thinking about a lot of things. So inside, I'm noticing that this should be more inward. With the standard brush and Alt, I'm just pushing it. This is looking a little bit odd, so with the move brush, I will move it. And then we will do the same for this thing as we did for the elbow armor, which will be to press W, and now we are on pivot mode, then Control, click, and then we have masked, and then we press Q to get out of pivot mode, and then with the big move brush, we go ahead and just make sure that this is visible a bit. Not too much though, just a little bit visible. We can do it from here also, because all other things are masked, so it will be easier. Okay, here we don't need it because it's hidden, but I think it's cool. Control drag, and let's show everything else with the solo button. I use solo button all the time, but I said that, so it's cool. Let's press D. This is dynamic subdivision, of course, and we need crease. We go to crease, at 1, crease it, and then we go to dynamic subdivision on 4, for example, and we have a pretty good result. But we need to push it, so this kind of thing that is showing is kind of same all around. It will be more consistent. It's looking good. Now this, press D, then crease at 1 crease level. Okay, dynamically subdivide at 4 or 3 or 4. 4 is nice. It's nice. Then let's see this. And since this is not subdivided, this is not creased, we'll go ahead and crease it manually, just pressed here. And it's creased now. It's looking good, although we can put one more polygon probably here, but yeah, let's not get over ourselves. I think it's fine. Probably here we need to crease it more. Yes. Yeah, when the angle is bigger than 45 degrees, it's not getting creased. So we need the angle to be smaller than 45 to have the crease. Then I can move this inward exactly like this, and it's kinda looking good. Yeah, one hand at least is looking kinda good. Since this and this both are creased the same. We can merge them easily, and I haven't shown you how to merge things yet, but we have to do this also. Let me see. Okay, the problem here is, you see here is sharper, this angle, and here is almost non-existent, because this, the closest edge, is a bit far away in this direction, and also the same for this. So what we can do is, with move brush, we can move these things closer to the edge, and it will be fine. Of course, this could be done also with another interesting thing, Z-modeler. Go to a point and then slide. We have to find slide, and then we just slide this point, and we will not crump the geometry. We will not make it you know, wrinkly, because it will slide along the edges and it will go exactly where we want it to be. Of course, this is slow. We can also slide pieces of edges too, but I wanted to show you how to slide points, and it's pretty easy. And for this one, we can slide the whole edge, or edge loop complete, or edge loop partial. Let's try edge loop complete, but we don't want the whole edge loop to slide, so we'll mask some area of the loop that we don't want to slide, and we will slide the rest like down. Not so much down. And then we can go to each point and slide it a bit. And we have a pretty good result, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit crimply, but it's nothing too much, so it's fine. And this thing here is pretty ugly, but it will probably not be that visible, so no, it will be, but it's not that big of an issue, I think, so it's cool. Let's go with our inflate brush, inflate this uniformly, and it's fine. So now I will apply subdivisions in order to make this kind of groove. Apply here, the button, apply, next to dynamic, apply, and now we have 5 subdivision levels. How to groove? We can use Orb Cracks brush. It's pretty good brush for the grooves, but if you don't have this brush, we can use down standard brush, which is 7 in our case here, and the down standard brush is good job. It's doing a good job. Then we increase the lazy radius. Lazy mouse should be on. We'll increase the lazy radius, excuse me, and we will just drag along, and we'll have this kind of interesting thing. It's not that interesting though, but it's a kind of detail which we don't want to miss. It's a good detail. People like this kind of detailing. Okay. And also, we have to make the same here. So let's apply dynamic and try to make the same detail here. And I think we have succeeded pretty well. Let's solo it, because here it will be easier when we see where we're going. Maybe the top part, we can do it too. Why not? Let's do it to the top part. Why only the bottom part? In the concept, it's only the bottom part, but I don't think we should differentiate that much. Next, we can go to lower subdivision with Shift D, and then with a big pinch brush, we can pinch this a bit, so we have this kind of sharp result. It will be better preserved or better observed by the public, or better accepted by the public when it's a little bit sharper, since this is a stylized character, highly stylized or heavily stylized, if we can say. And this is starting to look, like I said already, pretty awesome. Now this thing, we can increase the Dynamesh levels on it, so this could be better looking. So now we are at 48, I think, yes. So we can go at, for example, 122, press polish, that's why it's there, 122, enter, and then Dynamesh. And now we have this. It's looking fine with the dump standard brush without lazy radius. We can just go ahead with Alt and just push it, pull this, push pull, stuff like this, and it's starting to look pretty awesome. I'm smoothing, and then I'm going clean with the dump standard brush to make this happen. Also smoothing here with Shift, and then with the dump standard brush just filling this. Now I'm always working with low subdivisions in the beginning in order to make the whole thing work, and after that, only after that, I'm moving to a higher subdivision, because otherwise the model tends to be to get crumbly or wrinkly or whatever, and it's not looking professional at all, so we don't want that. So use your low subdivisions in the beginning, use Dynamesh wisely, go step by step up, don't ever jump like a lot higher in the beginning with subdivisions, because you will get bad results, definitely. And now with the dump standard brush, I will deepen those grooves so they will be more pronounced, and also here for the thumb I will deepen this, and it's starting to look pretty good. It already has started, but still with the inflate brush we can go and make this even better looking. And then with the dump standard brush again here. The hands are pretty important. Don't get me wrong, the hands and the face are the most important things, but the face in our case is not that important since it's not visible. Although maybe in the next or the video after that we can make some face just for fun, just to loosen up a bit and stuff before starting to poly paint and to do some other very serious activities. I'm joking, of course, they're not that serious because poly painting is mostly fun. But I think it's looking kind of good. If it's not, I'm sorry, but that's all I can do. Yeah, I was good before, now I'm not, so that's all I can do. Sorry about that. And continuing, I think it's looking pretty good, although this should be kind of armored, so let's try to make it look armored like this. This is an armor, this could be armor piece here, why not? Just making some, this could be something like this. I'm just trying some stuff, trying to look like an armor glove, and I don't know if I succeed or if I have succeeded, but at least I'm trying. I think it's good. So let's show it, everything, and it looks pretty awesome. I will smooth it a bit, and then I will mirror it to the other side. The hand, I will press X, so we will have symmetry now. And then I will merge. Let's talk about the merge for a little bit. When this subtool and this subtool, we want to merge those two. These are this one and this one. We have to see if they have the same subdivision number, and they have it. So we go to the top subdivision, to the top subtool, and the other is on the bottom, and we go to merge down. So merge down is very much used when we want to lower our subdivision count to make less not subdivision, subtool count. So now I will merge them, merge down, and ZBrush will say this is an undoable operation. This is not undoable. So are you sure? I'll say okay. And now ZBrush is saving the project file, but it's on. It's now one, as you can see, one subtool, and then it has all the subdivision levels because they were equal. If one of them was 4 subdivisions and the other 5, the resulting mesh will be 4 subdivisions. So the lower will apply. If one of them is 2 subdivisions and the other is 10, the resulting mesh will be 2 subdivisions only. But since they both are 5, it's just the best result we can get. So we can go down a little bit and we can end this video right about now because it's already time. I tend to make videos less. Let's mirror it. Mirrored it. It will be 500,000 polygons, ZBrush says, but I don't care that much because all my model now is 1.5 million polygons, which is very good since most of the things are just dynamically subdivided, not really subdivided. And how do you see your poly count? It's here, active and total points. Active is on this subtool that is active now, but you can just hover your mouse over this active subtool and you will see extract tree is the name, then polish points and stuff, total polygons and everything. So yeah, we have a pretty good result already. So see you in the next video. We'll see what we'll do there. Here we are again. What are we gonna do today or in this video is up to us completely and utterly up to us. I would like to clean up a bit those not gloves but something like this, just to give them more character, so this groove to be deeper, it will be better. I think so. We'll see. So next thing, since we have symmetry or not have symmetry, we don't have symmetry. I can del hidden, but bear in mind that if you have subdivisions like we have here, we have 5 subdivisions, you cannot del hidden. Yeah, we have to switch on the lowest subdivision level, del hidden, and then go to the highest subdivision and we will be okay. So bear in mind that. Yeah, last time when we have made this mirror, I haven't pressed X to activate symmetry, and that's why we have this problem. I will disable symmetry now and just do the same as I did with the shoulders. Just a few of those things like this. Just with the clay tubes, little by little, and then smoothing. And we'll get this chipping, which is always interesting to see. Maybe we can get also some kind of a deep groove or something like this. Also here, but why not? It's pinch. Okay, let's go to the down standard brush, then do this, then pinch the ends, and we can go closer and pinch this, so it's gonna be sharper and it will look more cartoonish, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Okay, we have this. Now we go to the pants, not the pants, but the legs, and we have to make something here because the legs are very low poly, and before we start anything else we should fix them to make them higher poly. So let's go to resolution about 120 and polish, and Dynamesh. The polish will make sure that we have smooth transitions all over, which is good. And I'll make some deep grooves with the down standard brush here, and then little by the down standard brush again, but without the alt pressed, I will go, but with very light pressure, I will go to the edges of this groove. I'm calling it groove. I'm not sure if it's exactly a groove in English, but let's call it a groove and call it a day, you know. Let's not argue about these kind of things. It's not professional. This also deeper, and then a little bit like this to make it sharper, to make it more appealing. It's a little bit more professional if we make it sharper on the edges, like I'm doing now, if you can see. And then we can go with the pinch brush. And with the pinch brush we can make this thinner, so it's not that thick. Also here we can try it, and also with the big move brush we can go ahead and make this sharper, like this edge here to be a bit sharper. And also I think with the big standard brush we can go and add a bit of a geometry here, so we can go ahead and with a high polish brush make it like this. Let's see if it's looking good. I'm just testing the waters. I'm not sure how it's in the concept because it's not very clear, but I think this is kind of good. This is kind of pretty nice. This is kind of pretty nice. Yeah, my English is the best, you know. Yep, just a perfect English, always. Yeah, I'm famous with my amazing English, as you can hear, probably. But it doesn't matter. What matters is if you learn something from me, even with this not so good sounding English. Although I've heard people telling me that my English is very that my voice is very soothing and comforting, but yeah, different people, different opinions. For some people I'm somehow irritating, I think, or they should be that kind of people. There are always people that will think of the other guy to be like irritating or something. Haters, you know, haters gonna hate, and the world will continue to turn, if we can say so. Okay, so let's go to the so we are refining some stuff. I think we should refine also this cape, but the thing is that I'm not sure about this cape, that if I'm gonna make it thick. But let's make thickness, why not? Thickness is always good. So we have lower subdivision, or it's just lower, and we will extrude all polygons inward. And now we'll have to disable double and see if they're turned, but they're not flipped. Now they're flipped, they're not flipped, so it's cool. And let's press D to dynamically subdivide, and then we may subdivide it, not dynamically, but absolutely legit subdivision we can make. But first let's crease it, at least at 1. I always, not always, but most of the time I crease because I need this kind of edge here. The thing is that the crease is getting also those edges here, which is exactly not what we want, or not exactly what we want. So I will increase the threshold of the crease and uncrease all crease. It's not good. So I'll increase it, uncrease all crease. Yeah, some things also, despite the fact that I did it, are creased because we have very bad geometry here. but I don't know if we can make it better. But let me just do it again and let's see if we can make it better. I think we can. So Control Z a few times until we get back to this without the thickness mode. Okay, now we go to B, Z. I'm pressing B and Z on my keyboard to go to Z Remesher Guide Brush, this brush. I select it, I make my brush smaller, and then I go like this. Just a guide here, then another guide here. I'm not exactly sure this will work, because those guides are a little bit selfish, but sometimes it could help. For example, this time, let's see, now we will zero mesh. Let's see, it's absolutely bad because of this here. What's going on? We can try it again, zero mesh. And now I think it's a bit better. The zero mesh is a bit better. So we may as well leave it as it is now. Yeah, now it's pretty good. I'm kinda happy with this. So I will use it, of course. All right. I'm just making some adjustments with the standard brush. It's kind of cool. So let's make the thickness now. Thickness, pretty thick. Okay. Ooh, this thickness, it's not bad, not good. I don't know why. We have here some issues. Oh yes, we have some polygons that are a bit interestingly positioned. So what we can do is zero mesh again. Hopefully it will not ruin our geometry. No, it's keeping it, which is fine. Let's demodeler and try it again. Okay, I think this time is kind of good, although not perfect, but there is nothing perfect in this life. So now let's decrease at 1, crease it, and now it's kind of better. Of course we have some issues around this area. Why? When you're polyframing, you will notice that we can have this or this. You know, we have here a little buttons inside the button. One is to remove the lines and the other is to remove the colors. But we don't use it. We don't use them. We don't need them. So I noticed that here there is a problem because maybe the crease isn't in this here. So I'll crease, edge, and crease this edge, and now I think it's better. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Yeah, it's somehow not very good geometry here in this area. Particularly in this area, it's not very good. Also, this is pretty far away from the end where we need it. So I will move it closer to the edge. And in here, we have some issues also. I'll try to fix them. So in this video, obviously, we haven't started the sword, but we will start it probably right after this cape is kind of good. And I think it's kind of good already. Let's make it even this color. But what is this color? Let's try, why not this? Yeah. And now we go to fill object, and since it's RGB, we fill it with the color. If it was M, we fill it with material, but that I will explain it later. Now we'll get back to our white color, and we have only the cape in this color. In order to select the color, you go to the color, your mouse over the color, and press C, and now you have this color, and we can fill, and also this one here we can fill. And then if we go to the white, we have filled those things. Of course, we have to make thickness of this thing here, but it's pretty cool to know how to make those colors. Of course, I haven't shown you everything, and I shown you just for a notice. Then we will make him a bit of this yellowish brownish color, but later. So now let's try to make the sword. I can see the sword quite well, so I'll press Z, then move, and then press Z again. Then we can start to make the sword. How to start to make something that is completely out of our object? Of course, we will start, or we can, with appending a cube. And we will have to go to the bottom of our stack to find this cube and click on it here on the subtool palette. Then with W we'll get our pivot and place the cube in front of our object. Make sure that it's not with perspective, because with perspective, when you move, you don't know what will happen. Now we turn on polyframe and solo just to see this. So this will be the blade of our sword, but not exactly all of this, only part of this. So Control Alt Shift drag to hide everything except for this side. So you notice what I did. I did this, and then with space it's very difficult. What are these emojis? Okay, so I pressed to hide everything, but you see how the right side is not covered by this red. Yeah, wait. So from here, yeah, the right side is not covered, so there only this is here. Del hidden. Then I will continue with disabling this, and then this, hiding it, and then del hidden. So I hidden everything except for this part, and this part is here, you know. I will make symmetry, I will do some other stuff with it, but for now we have it. I will press with Alt here while I'm on my pivot, which I have with W, and then I will make it bigger on all directions, and the simpler the form is, the better. I'm not sure I want to make the sword in this form, because it's a bit strange. Maybe a normal sword will do, but let's try it first with this form and we'll see. So the sword should be like this, and this is basically the blade of the sword. Yeah, it's nothing too much, but it's cool. I will mask with Control drag this middle thing, reverse the mask, and nothing happened because we have extremely low poly. But now when we move, we are moving only this middle thing, and I will move it here on the top. We'll need it for later. We will need it later, probably. Who knows? And then we'll make the handle. But how to make the handle? Probably it will be for the best if we duplicate this just by clicking on the duplicate button, which is completely normal, and then turn it, put it down, make it smaller, and then just del this. So deleting in ZBrush, as you can see, is by just hiding it with Control Alt Shift and drag, hiding the form, and then press del hidden. It's pretty easy, nothing to be scared about. Some people are scared, wow, how I delete things in ZBrush? Yeah, it's pretty easy. So this will be the handle, and yeah, we're running out of time, but I'm making very simple forms now. So duplicate this to make the it's not hilt, or I'm not sure how it's called, the guard. Yeah, let's call it the guard. So the guard will be this piece. The guard, of course, will need to have a middle insert. I will insert one edge in the middle of the guard, and then I need a symmetry to make it to make the guard. So let's press press X to activate symmetry, but X symmetry, now it's X symmetry, it's not working for us. We need Y symmetry. Y symmetry is good, and Z symmetry also. We can have two symmetries at once. And now, if I go to my move brush and move this down, you see what happens, because we have symmetry by this axis and by this axis here. So both axes we have symmetry on. And it's pretty good, yeah. So this will be the base of our guard. Now here I will add again a poly, not the poly, but the edge. Then I will mask this bottom edge, reverse the mask. When I want to move or rotate or just do something with some edge, I just mask it and then reverse the mask. And then I can work on it, make it wider, so it's the pommel of the handle. Then I release the mask and put it down a bit. So now this is the base of our sword. Of course it's 2D yet, but it's we will extrude and then we'll modify it by after extrusion. Okay, let's extrude the sword itself. Extrude, flip it, then we'll have this, but it's not sharp, so we might want to sharpen it, of course, sharpen it. How? It will be pretty easy. We will mask this and then this, then reverse the mask, and nothing happens because we are extremely low poly, but we will put it in the middle, this, with alt clicking on this button, and then I will drag this slider right and it will become sharp. Yeah, you're noticing that I kind of know what I'm doing. So I disable the mask, then mask this, only this part, reverse the mask, and then do the same, alt click here, and then make it smaller, smaller, like this. And perhaps it's a little bit not good, but I will also move this thing upward here, and we can stitch it later, because now we are over our time basically. But this is kinda the sword that we want. I don't know if the sword is sharp on both ends. Probably in this it's not that sharp, so let's just make it a bit bigger like this. And yeah, maybe this thing, just this to be sharp, and I will move this down. So you're noticing how I'm just masking something, reversing the mask, and then move it, scale it, or whatever. So this is the base of our sword. It started to look normal, like sword. We can make it a bit thicker. It will be fine. And then we can end this video, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be about the sword again, probably. Yeah. So guys, let's continue making this sword. Let's disable perspective, because with perspective we cannot see exactly from front or exactly from the side view. Now we can, and I'm seeing that this part here is not flat. It's not it's flat, but it's not exactly on the side, aligned to the side. So what I'll do is drag a big mask and just barely get this, and I think I did it. And then I will, of course, control click to rotate the mask, to invert it. Then I will alt click this icon here, this one, alt click it. This will go to unmeshed center, and now I will do this, and I will see that I don't have symmetry, which is not good. And I will do the same thing again with symmetry this time. And now I have symmetry because I pressed X. Press X to have symmetry. Then I will do this mask, invert the mask with control click, press W, alt click to go to the unmasked center, then alt drag here until it gets to this the widest point, and then drag this slider, drag it a few times until this is completely flush. So what we did here is we masked all those 4 points, and then by scaling them they just aligned to one plane. And since this plane is exactly on the view like this, it is completely good. So I can now move a little bit those things here. I can even probably move this. No, I have to, of course, disable the mask, or not disable the mask, but get rid of the mask, if we can say. Okay. So I think the sword will be good this way. Maybe. We'll see. But I think it will be good. I don't like it exactly how it is here, so I will make it like this. And it's looking fine. So let's make thickness for this part. Extrude all polygons, it's okay. Move it. And it's fine. We can always change it. Flip. How to change the thickness? We will alt click, so our pivot is here, but our pivot, we get it with W key or E or R, but W is the closest. I said that already a few times. And then we will make this bigger, and it's looking good. So now I will go to this one and make also thickness. Let's see how big. I think this is good. Flip it, and now we have this kind of thing. So the handle here should be a little bit rounder, or he will hurt his arms. Although his arms are pretty armored, but still, let's make it rounder, and it will be fine. So how to make it rounder? Let's press X, so we'll have symmetry, and then I will get one more symmetry with, no, not with Y, with Z. Yes, so I'll have 4-way symmetry now. If I move 1 point here, 4 points will be moved. So I will move one inside, and probably this one I will move also inside. So this will become a bit more rounded. We'll see. This will go like this. And maybe we can add one more with the Z modeler brush. I got it. And just click on this. Then mask only this area. Invert the mask. Then place with Alt our pivot in the mask area, in the unmasked area already, and just make this. Then again for this one, again mask, invert the mask, then put our pivot there and make it like this. Looking good, right? Yeah, the sword is starting to take a pretty good shape. Now we'll go to the top, to this one, and press X also. So now we have all types of symmetry here. But I will mask, no, why masking? We can do it manually by just taking a big move brush and just push this in that direction. And it's kind of good, except for this part here. We should think about that. Probably we can do this. Add a loop here, and then just make this a bit wider there, and here also. And this should do. That should do. Then of course I would like to take out this middle part, so it could have a bit more shape there. And then I will press D for dynamic subdivision. Of course, dynamic subdivision will make this absolutely unusable, but we will try to crease it at 2 this time. Probably 2 will be best. And dynamic subdivided at 4. and the crease manually something. So we go to Z modeler brush again, press space, insert, no, we want crease, so we go to crease, edge loop complete, crease, edge loop complete, and we crease this edge, and let's see what else we can crease. What else? Maybe the middle edge also, it will be a good idea to crease this. Ah, it's creased. It doesn't appear that way, but it's creased. So we can, in order to have an angle here, we will go to an edge, so hover an edge, then insert single edge loop and insert one edge loop here and drag it so it has this kind of thing. Looking good, although I will go to my move brush by pressing 4 and then I will move this inwards because it looks a little bit strange. Let's see, okay, there, it's looking strange. Now I think it's a bit better. And if we want this to be a bit with more shape, we should do, again, insert here, like this. But not until the end, a little bit before that. So if we press Shift D to see it without the dynamic subdivision, it's not exactly until the end, but it's looking good. So this sword, as you can see, is starting to take shape. Of course, we will again press D for dynamic subdivide. We'll crease at a little bit higher angle, maybe at 1 this time. Let's crease it. Okay, dynamically subdivide at 4. All right, and we'll have to probably uncrease some things, but we'll see. Okay, let's see what we have here. We don't have enough polygons in this area, so we will put one, insert a little bit here, so this will be a sharper transition, and probably also here and here we will put polygons. It's a good idea to have some polygons there, also probably in this area. So now it will be fine, although I don't want these to be creased. So what we'll do is go crease, edge loop complete, and click with Alt, so the crease will be gone. Okay, and then I will crease this just by clicking on it, and then when we press D, we have not perfect result, although let's see, we can crease. Let's crease this. I cannot touch it. Sometimes creasing is difficult. Okay, this is good. I will crease also this one, and this is kind of nice. I think this is fine. Yeah, a good handle. It's a bit thin, but since we'll have to push it into his hand, which is already in fist, it's a good idea to be thin. Then we will get again D. Amazing, amazing. Crease at 2. Crease it. Then dynamically subdivide at 4. And we always want to manually crease those kind of things. I will press to crease, then press this to crease, and I will uncrease. Let me see what I will uncrease. So now we'll have creased this and this. We don't want that. I will crease only one of them. This one I don't want, so I will go crease edge, not edge loop complete, edge, and then alt click this, and I will zoom in and alt click this. Let's see if we were able to do it. I think we kinda were able to do it, but we need more polygons here, so we'll go to insert, edge loop, complete, and let's put one edge loop here so it's sharper, then one in here and one in here, and let's put one in there, and let's see what's happening. Now it's looking a bit better. And of course we can always chip this, but first with the move brush I will try to make it a bit more interesting. Yeah, why not? Why not? This is looking good. So now we have kind of a sword. All of those things are creased, not creased, but dynamically subdivided on 4, I think. So let's see, 4, 4. Okay, we can merge them, merge down, and we have the sword. It's a 1 subtool because I have merged them. I've clicked on the top one and there were 2 below, and then merge down 2 times. And now we have this. Let's see our model. Where is it? Shift click on the eye, nothing happened. Shift click on the eye again, and all the subtools will be visible. And we see our model is looking pretty good. And now I would like to color the handle and the other part of the sword. So I'll go here, press Ctrl Shift, click, and I see that this is there are a lot of polygroups here in our sword. Although I click on this, now we can make only the separate meshes inside this subtool, which are 3: the blade, the guard, and the handle. There are 3 separate meshes, but they have a lot of polygroups. So now we will make every mesh a separate polygroup. Only 3 groups. So how do we do that? We go to polygroups and group auto groups. Okay, yeah, this is auto groups, but I have it here. Auto groups is the same in my menu custom. So I will auto group, and now I can Control Shift click and just have whatever I want selected. So I Control Shift clicked on this, then I will reverse the selection and I will hide also this. And when I reverse the selection again, I will have selected only this one, and I can poly paint it with some color. Let's see what color will be this brownish tint. I think this will be fine, and I will just press Fill Object. I make sure whatever brush I am, it has to be RGB on, and I will just Fill Object. And now I will show this, and it will be cool. Okay, we have the sword already. Let's put it in his hand, or at least somewhere there. Ooh, without symmetry we have to work. I'm talking like Yoda. Without symmetry we have to work, young Padawan. Now this sword, of course, I would like to make it a bit broader, I mean a bit more fat, because, and I will click here, so it's in the middle, and I will make it a little bit thicker, because it doesn't suit him. He has this thick armors and everything, and the sword is thin. It doesn't work. Now it's working, I think. It's kind of cool, although this sword doesn't look super good to me. Maybe I will do something for that, but I will have to apply the subdivisions first. Another thing. Also, we will need to put materials, but that will be a thing for another video. Now we are kind of done with the sword, and we can continue with some other things, but in the next video. Okay, what I want to do in this video is something interesting. First, let's isolate the head, and let's see. Okay, it's Dynamesh in resolution. Okay, let's increase the resolution to this one, polish, and do this. And now I'll just go with my damn standard brush and make this happen. I don't like it, so I will go to the lazy mouse, increase it to 41, and just drag a few times, and then on top and on the bottom, and then smooth a bit. But you have to be careful every time you work with this kind of things. be careful. Then with the pinch brush, I'll just pinch this and we'll have it. This is looking nice, though we can, let's move this here, so the lazy mouse to 1. Okay, and I'm not sure what exactly we should do there, but since this is a fairly stylized character, we can get away with almost everything except for a lot of detail. A lot of detail will ruin this character, so we'll have to be careful about that. I'm just making this kind of thing. So he basically, I think, probably wears a helmet. But below the helmet, what is it below the helmet is the question. Let's think about that. So, to think about that, we will duplicate this. Let's just make this a bit more like that. Like that. Okay. It looks fair. Now I will duplicate it. What? Here. Duplicate. Then make it smaller by inflating it like this. Deflating it basically. Smooth it. And then we'll think how he will look just for fun. We'll never see this in the final thing, but sometimes if we have time, we need to just make some fun things. And probably his head won't be that with this thing in the middle. Maybe his eyes will be like this. Maybe he will have kind of a nose. Little bit of a nose. Smoothing. And just working with various brushes. Mostly with move brush. And one of my favorite, clay tubes brush. This could be the nose. We could smooth that. And I think he is a happy guy. So we'll make him smile. Maybe his chin won't be that sharp. He's looking like a skeleton or skull, like a skull. But it doesn't matter that much. We are cool. So let's make him smile. Okay. I like my characters to smile. So I'm pushing here a little bit. We have the teeth. We'll push them inward. And the bottom teeth will be more inward. Then I will smooth. And then we'll have this kind of thing. He's smiling. Our guy. Our knight. In the original artwork, he is holding here a kind of a rope. Not exactly a rope, but some kind of rope. That he's having some kind of prisoner. Which is, I think, a zombie. Which is on 4 legs. But I think it would be a bit of a complication to make it. So we will make just this. The idea of the whole video, of the whole course, is to make you familiar with ZBrush, practice a bit, make you a bit more confident, and then if you start your new work, you can always just look at this one, look at this course, because you know you always can, and just repeat the things you learned from here. That basically will be fine. And now I'm not talking a lot because this is just for fun. You can easily skip this video if you want. Yeah, let's see. Okay, these eyes, they are looking pretty not good. So I'll make him like this. I think it would be better. A little bit of a Japan face. Yes, looking fine. And maybe after that we'll start refining the model a bit, adding details here and there, not too much, but we need to add a bit, otherwise it will look a bit dull, and we don't want dull, we want it to look good. So we'll add a few things. We'll move these things inward. Obviously his head won't be like this, he will be most likely something like that, and those will be ears. Let's see if we can make ears like this. Probably we can do everything, so ears won't be that big of a problem. So I'm making sure everything is going inwards from the base thing, because otherwise when we turn on the helmet it will go above it, which is not exactly what we need. So these are the ears. They're looking awful, obviously. But the thing is that we don't need to make them look super nice, because we are doing this for fun. So it's fine. Can make this. He's very happy, I don't know why. You know, now it's Valentine's Day here, and I'm making videos for this course. What's happening with my life? I don't know. But you know, I have a wife and 2 kids, and my wife has gone somewhere, maybe with some other guy. Probably not. But and yeah, whatever. She may have fun. I'm cool with that. I like to make videos. So that's my real love, ZBrush. I'm with her now, so I'm happy. That's the thing. But don't tell my wife. It's a little bit, you know, not good. Okay, so making the lower lip a bit. When somebody is smiling, their lips are getting not that thick, thinner. Let's make this lower lip a bit inward. Like this is better. So you seen it was a bit not that good, but when we pushed that lower lip inward and the upper lip above it, we have made some progress. Now we're making this at the edge. We don't have to make this exactly because it's a stylized character, so most of the things will be gone from his head. I mean, not gone, but they will not be present at all. Not will be gone. Let's make some teeth, which is absolutely unnecessary and even will not do good, but I just wanna see how it will look not good. Yeah, if you are making stylized character, maybe someday I will make a course about stylized characters. You don't have to go and make a lot of detail. You have to make some things in some places, and the good stylized characters have the exact things on exact places, few of them, but good looking. And that's it. The form of the skull, form of the anatomy skull, anatomy form of the skull. And I think we are done. Let's show everything. Okay, it's good. Let's remove the helmet. Where is it? Okay, it's here. And now we see our character. He has big horns, a smile. Yeah, he looks good. He's a cute little guy. That face is not exactly for this guy. obviously, but it's just for fun. Okay, so now we get rid of it. Just disable the visibility of it by clicking on the eye icon, and now we can continue working on our character. We have some poly painted things. So let's make thickness of this, or for this, or in this. Let's make this thicker, or thick, because now it's just a plane. Basically, I'm gonna extrude inwards a lot, so flip, and now we have to make crease. Crease at 1, crease, edge something, 4 is nice, and we have to uncrease those things because we don't need them creased. Edge loop complete, alt click here, alt click here, alt click here, and here and here. And now they are uncreased. It's very important to increase those because it will not look good as a fabric. It will look at something else. Not exactly a fabric. Trying to achieve something here, but I don't know if I will be able to. Let's see how it looks. It looks kind of fine. It's not exactly perfect, but it's fine. So now we have a lot of things going on. Let's do something else. Maybe we should do a poly paint. But in order to do a poly paint, we should make sure everything has subdivisions, real subdivisions. So this is dynamic. Let's apply subdivisions. This is dynamic. Let's apply it. This is dynamic. Let's apply it. And we should make another one for the horns because they are still low poly. Let's see them. Yes, Control D. And now we have this. Has subdivision. Yes, it's looking good. Although there are, yes. So this one we will delete because you see this one is not what we need. We'll delete it. So delete. And now we will show everything and it's fine. Also, those knee armors we will most likely want to inflate. Let's inflate them a bit. They're looking a bit thin compared to the other things. And now I will apply subdivisions. Apply. They're looking awesome. Now I will get to them and start working on them just for them. Okay, just doing this. And we'll increase the subdivisions again probably because they are not really good subdivided. They're a little bit low still. Okay. All right. What am I doing? I'm sharpening some things just to look better. Using dump standard brush, using my high polish brush, changing them with the shortcuts. You know, 5 is the high polish brush, dump standard brush is 7. I'm pressing 7, pressing 5, pinch brush is 3. So I'm using all kind of brushes just to be able to make this. Control D, I will add another subdivision, then I will press X. So I won't have symmetry and I will be able to make this kind of things like this. Maybe one also here, a little bit. One in there, a bit bigger. One probably here, dent. I'm sorry if I work with my mouth open, but sometimes when I'm concentrating, I just open my mouth. So basically I have to think about not opening my mouth. When I'm not thinking about it, I just look like an idiot. but obviously that's the way it is. Yes. So let's make one more thing, probably here. I'm making those, although they are not part of the model exactly. I'm making them because I want this to be a bit more interesting. Because the model, not the model, but the concept is pretty simple. And I needed to have a bit more personality, a bit more texture. A bit like those things were hit by a hammer and made by a hammer. Rough, but good. And this will just enrich the quality of the model. Just going crazy with the high polish brush. And now they're looking a bit more interesting. Let's go to those legs and do the same things. Just make them look like they are forged and hit with some hammer until they get this kind of thing. Remove the symmetry, press 2, go ahead and do this. It won't happen if we don't have enough geometry. Let's see how much polygons we have here. This is 140, so I will increase it once. Control D. Pressing Control D, of course, will increase our poly count 4 times. So now it's 500,000 and something. And now I'll press symmetry again, just to make sure this is better looking. And then continue here on the top with symmetry for now. Then without symmetry, I'm pressing X to disable symmetry again. Going here with the clay tubes, smoothing. Do the same, but with, yeah, probably with the same brush, it would be nice here. Because down standard brush is making a bit more not good things sometimes. X for symmetry again, and just adjust this, make it look good. Okay, and the armor too, we'll press Ctrl D, subdivide it one more time, so it's 500,000 polygons, a little bit more than half. And then we'll make a bit of a dent in this area. Smooth it. Then get it around with a small pinch brush, just to make sure they are sharper. Looking cool. It's just a little bit imperfections here and there. That makes the character look more interesting. I'll make another one dent in here, probably from a hit from below, from an axe, maybe, who knows. And we don't have enough polygons here, so this will be not very good. If we want to make a lot of good detail, we'll have to increase the poly count. Let's continue with this in the other video, with this refining and making some details. We'll make some details on the horns, we'll make some other details on the shoulder armor, and yeah, on the back probably we'll fix this. Yeah, we'll fix the, I forgot the name of this, the cape. Okay, so we'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, let's address this camera issues that I have sometimes. When I move the model, especially when I move it continuously, especially now when it's a lot of polygons, it's starting to lag my camera and starting to lag. So it's cool. I mean, it's not cool, but still, Let's delete this because it's of no use to us. Delete it. This was one of the spikes that we have made on the spikes video. Now dynamic, when the dynamic is on here on the solo, this little tiny thing dynamic here, which is inside the button, it's a button inside of the button. If you turn it on, when you rotate, even if the solo is not on, it will show you only this tool, which in our case may be a good thing because the hiccups on the camera side happened exactly when I move or pan the model, and if we don't have hold the model in the screen, probably it would be a bit lighter. Let's eat this here, smooth it, then with the down standard brush from a distance, let's try to do something. It's not looking good, so I will do it with the standard brush. Down standard brush is a bit strange brush. It doesn't just not move, but it doesn't just do the topology. I mean, it's pinching and digging, or pinching and adding geometry at the same time, and not adding geometry, but yeah, the principle of the down standard brush is a bit interesting, but you know, with experience you will learn which brush to use when, and you will learn that the down standard brush has its very good things where it should be used, and some instances that it shouldn't be used. So it's up to you. But as I say always in my tutorials, this is kind of this video example is kind of in front, kind of later in the tutorial, so not too many people will watch it. I mean, I saw some models that people have made on my tutorials, but they are not too much. I mean, not more than 6, 7, I think. So most people are just watching. Most people are just watching the beginning, and they get bored, since these tutorials are not that expensive and they don't have this will to take it to the end, which is understandable. I understand that, but you know, if you buy this, it's a good idea to just get on with it, you know. It would be a good idea. But everybody knows his limitations. Now, what we can do here is, yeah, we have a very little subdivisions here. We have very little polygons here. So what we can do is go to geometry, go to the lowest subdivision. How to go to the lowest subdivision? Either with this slider here on the geometry, or higher res here, pressing, or lower res. And if you just hover the button, you'll see higher subdiv resolution here. Higher subdiv resolution D, lower subdiv resolution Shift D. So with Shift D we go down, with D we're going up. So Shift D, 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 Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. Okay. Now what we can do? Freeze subdivision levels. We'll freeze our subdivision levels because when we have a mesh with subdivisions, it's very important, we cannot use the Z modeler brush. Just the mesh is composed of multiple subdivision levels. We cannot. So delete or freeze subdivisions. We don't want to delete the higher subdivisions. We'll freeze them. Now they are freezed. We can make this. Few of those things for good measure. So we will have more resolution after we unfreeze. So let's unfreeze by just clicking on the freeze again. And we wait a bit. And ZBrush will take this low poly geometry that we have now just remade, or not remade, but modified, and it will project the high poly detail on it. And now we have this, which is a little bit better than before. Or not. I will see. Yeah, there are some artifacts sometime, and we have to smooth them. but most of the time it's pretty good. So now it's pretty good, and I will just do this. Of course, this became a bit lighter than it has to be probably. But doesn't matter. I will smooth. I will make a hole. I will smooth again. This is not looking good here, because it's not looking like made from an axe or something. But I think for a cartoon character it will do. Since it's cartoon character, it has to do. And I'm continuing to use the high polish brush. Let's make it white. White is a bit more contrasty. Yeah, I had to restart the brush again. So that's why the background is not that dark, but let's go to document, back, and just make it darker from here. Okay, I think now it's a little bit more contrasty, which is fine. So let's fix the cape here. Since the cape is protruding a bit, we have to go with Shift Z on the lowest subdivision and just move this with the move brush, with big move brush. We're moving it. It's double. We remove the double, we don't need it. Then we go back. No, not dynamic subdivisions. We have we have dynamic subdivision. We haven't yet subdivided it for real, but we have to do it at some point. Otherwise, either way, this is protruding here, and this is not good. We need it only for the top part and maybe for the bottom, like some kind of lower pants or underwear. Yeah, like underwear. It's very cool. So it's a happy coincidence. We have underwear now. It will not be visible from any angle probably. And if you are afraid of this happening, just go here and disable dynamic. But now the camera probably will start to get problems. Now let's continue with this. Apply dynamic we don't have subdivisions. I mean, we don't have dynamic, we have real subdivisions here, unfortunately, or fortunately. But we have to make one more because you see the polygons here. So Control D will make another subdivision, and now we can start working on it, making it sharper at some of those edges here. Also with the pinch brush we can go here to make this sharper. Also we can disable symmetry and make some kind of this thing here, something like this in there. And yeah, basically just with the high polish brush, just clicking and dragging a bit, but not with a prolonged drag, you know, just click and click, 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 just a lot of clicks. And it should be okay. And it is, kinda. Okay, from the back, we'll have to make some things just to have a variety, because otherwise it's boring. Yeah, although this is a beginner's ZBrush tutorial or course, it's a good thing to address some basic things for the modeling. You have to avoid your model to be sterile, or repetitive, and try to be more lively. Try to put some textures. For example, I haven't shown you, I think, how to work with alphas, but it's a good thing to show now. So let me show you how to work with alphas. I will just show you, but we won't use it probably. So we go to the standard brush, for example, standard brush, and we can go here, alpha, where it says alpha, and put some alpha on. For example, let's say this one, where just dots, which is alpha 07. It says alpha 07 here on the left. So when we drag our mouse now, we are dragging with this alpha 07. Without the alpha, it is just the standard brush, you know, but with the alpha is this. But here we have the stroke. And the stroke, if we make it drag rect, we can drag this alpha like this. And Control Z, it's pretty nice. Although I don't know exactly what we can use this for in this case. But we can, for example, dial down the Z intensity to 7 and just drag it with Alt to have some variety. And then with the high polish brush, just go over it. And yeah, it will not be too visible, but still, it's kind of there. So we go to standard brush and go to alpha off, and here to dots, like it was, this is default. And we continue working. So you know now how to work with alphas. Of course, you can always import your own alphas. For example, here there are alphas that I use for veins. Those alphas I use for veins. You can see little tiny veins. But I use it with drag rect, and I just drag those like this. And I make tiny veins if I have to on my model. And they look pretty awesome because they're very tiny, very almost invisible, but they are there. And that gives this like realistic look when you're going for that, of course. But now we are definitely not going for the realistic look, so we don't have to do it. Let's make some scratch here, because when he was in some battle, some guy just hit him with an axe here, and he made this big dent in his armor. Ooh, now the camera will go crazy. But it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, we can make a few more scratches. Just to have it, you know, when I finish some model, and I already make the renders and everything, and suddenly I realize that I haven't put enough detail. I make the forms pretty well, I do other things, but the details you have to put. Of course, this is again a piece that is a bit stylized, a lot stylized. So we don't need to put that much of a detail, but still we need to put some. It's good to have some detail. So let's go to the shoulders. And you know already how to work with alphas, so I won't have to show you that, which is a good thing. Yeah, I showed you. And since we didn't have to work with alphas here, probably you won't... I just got you familiar with the alphas. You know, with all the tools that I've shown you here in ZBrush, masking, polygroups, navigating the interface and everything, you can very easy now continue and learn next things from, for example, some of my other tutorials. Of course, they are not in my name exactly, because I made them for other people, but probably I would make some of my own, we'll see. But nonetheless, even those that I made for other people, they are mine. I mean, I made them, so... no, they're not mine. Yeah, that's the difference. They're not mine, but I made them. So you can, if you like my style of teaching, for example, which is a little bit more like not so official and stuff, you can check them out. They're available in Udemy, they're available in some other places, Flip Normal site, and some other places. What I want to do is one of those horns to make it chipped, because it will look more badass. Yeah, not every horn or thorn or whatever should be super good looking. I mean, after all, we are dealing with a badass knight here with horns, so we have to be very careful with that. If we leave the model as it is, it will be good. I mean, the overall silhouette is nice and everything because of the concept is cool. But if we put just a little bit more effort, I mean, not few hours, but yeah, 2 hours, for example, just 2 hours more, just to go through every detail and just make it a bit more detailed, a bit more touched by a human, a bit more believable, it will, your benefits will be huge. I mean, the benefit for your the likeness of your model, the likability. Everybody will just like your model better when they see that you have put this kind of effort. Everybody likes to see the effort. You know, yeah, I think that the most important thing is to have a good silhouette, to have a right forms, to have the right proportions and everything. The silhouette, of course, is the most important, but the next thing you have to do is just put more effort. Just go ahead and touch up the model. And now with these models that are like knights with some armor, which is medieval or something, it's a little bit more easy because you just have to go with a high polish brush and touch here and there and it will just happen. Which cannot be said about models that are others, but everything is it has to be decided in person, I guess. Personalized. But I think we are getting pretty good. Those shoulders are already nice. We can put a bit of a dent in there. Why not? And we don't have almost any dent in here, so I'll put one little one here, just for good measure. This also I will eat a bit. And you notice how the model is starting to look a bit more beaten up, but still a little bit nicer overall. Let's make some eyebrows here. Why not? It's my decision. Also, when you're making the model, it's your decision whether to put whatever you want. I mean, yeah, if you're working for a client, of course it's most of the time it's his decision. Okay, saving project. Now I will make a dent here with yeah, I don't have symmetry now. I removed it and I will make kind of dent. Somebody just slap him. One here, something here. This is bigger. Maybe also in this place. And we are approaching the end of this video, which is absolutely normal. Nobody has to worry about that. That's just the end of this video. We have more to come. Of course, what we have next is continuing to work on this a little bit and then making the poly paint. We will color the character. I will show you exactly how to poly paint. Then I will get you a little bit into the lighting, how the lighting works here in ZBrush. The lights, not the lightning, but the lights. Or the lighting, not lightning, yeah. And then we can make a little render in Photoshop. And we will be ready and good to go. And when you watch everything, you will be just ready to make your own model, of course. And it will be great. I'm telling you, this is just perfect to make models in ZBrush. It's just amazing. It's like I told you, it's still Valentine's Day here and Valentine's night already. And I love to sit here and just work with you on this model. I don't know, maybe I'm a freak, who knows. But yeah, see you in the next video. Hello again. And we will, of course, continue detailing our not orc, but creature. So I noticed that when I'm prolongedly dragging the model around the screen, it increases my CPU usage to 100% sometimes. That's why my camera is starting to lag a lot. And yeah, probably I should buy another computer, because my computer is already 5 years old. It's very, very old. So let's go to the cape, and let's see here. Is this the cape? No, it's not. So this is this thing here. Okay, let's go to it and just push it with Alt Move. The move brush, with, I told you what it does. It just pushes inwards or outwards, depending where you move your tablet or stylus or your mouse. But don't work with the mouse, you know, work with tablet. Do you see? Tablet. Wacom tablets, pretty cheap these days. I'm working with Intuos 4, I think. It has around 2000 pen pressure levels. And I think the most modern, cheap versions of Wacom tablets are having the same. So yeah, this, when I bought it, was very expensive. It was more than $400, and now for $60-70 I think you can find a very decent Wacom tablet, and it will be fine. I'm just trying some things here. I'm not sure what kind of detailing we will do, because I don't know. I'm just not sure. But we have to make something, some kind of detail here, like this. So it's not just plain. Not that it wouldn't work. It will, because it's a stylized character, but since we have some detail already done on some other parts, on the horns it will be, you know, not very nice if we don't have a detail there. And I have no patience to show you and to see if the poly paint will be good, but to show you how to make a poly paint and some tricks to do with masks. It will be very much fun. And you know, the main idea here in working in ZBrush is to express your creativity, yes, but also to have, oops, yeah, this was Shift Z, and Z I pressed by accident. To have fun, yeah, and having fun while making money is even more fun, you know. So that's why I support everybody who is starting to learn ZBrush. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm making this course, because I want everybody to feel what I feel when I'm working. It's just amazing how you can work and have fun at the same time and support your family. It's just very good. It's a very good feeling. I'm from a little country called Bulgaria, if nobody knows. No, somebody knows Bulgaria. It's not super unknown, but it's not very, very famous. And our country is relatively poor. It's in European Union, but it's kind of poor. And what was I going with it? Yes, my standard of living is good. It's normal. Some people are living pretty poor because they don't work with ZBrush, obviously. But if everybody were working with ZBrush, then it will not be that well paid. So, but you know, you cannot make a good 3D artist from everybody. It has to have some talent, some skill, some will, and to want it. So this course now is for kind of everybody, but you'll have to when you know ZBrush already, you can then make a decision whether this is a program for you. After you watch all of these videos that I have made for this course, you can say, okay, I think this is the program for me, because ZBrush is very specific program. It's not like Photoshop. It's not like 3D Max. It's a little bit different from all of those programs, and that's why it's so interesting. It's made by artists for artists, or at least that's what they claim, and I kind of believe them because it's pretty good. Like, it's very good program. So let's make those grooves a bit bigger and not so many. I will just choose some to make a bit deeper, because as I told you, it's better to have few details but very well defined and very well placed than to have a lot, because a lot means nothing, you know, it's not that good. So we have to pay a little bit more attention to the horns, since they are a pretty big detail, pretty obvious. They're on our point of view, I mean, not on the point, but they are very close to the center of the image. Not exactly, but they're making a lot of the silhouette of the head, and they will be pretty much visible from all the angles. So we have to be careful with the horns. We have to make them pretty nicely, and now they don't look that nice. I don't particularly like what I have done just now, but we'll see. Maybe it will be kind of nice. I'm not sure. These days I'm pretty much very critic. I'm criticizing my works a lot. I don't completely like the things that I do, and that's probably a phase of development, and I think I should stay a lot more in this phase, and everybody should, because this is the phase that you are growing as an artist. You are trying to improve because you don't like what you're doing. You're seeing other artists that are doing much better than you, and you realize that, and you're continuously trying to improve, and that I think is pretty creative, pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out some better word, but it's pretty good, obviously. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, kinda nice, but exactly those things I don't like. I don't really like those things to be very parallel. I would like them to have some kind of interesting relation to each other or something like this. Oops, I've chosen the wrong brush, which is interesting because I pressed 3, and 3 is a pinch brush, but probably I didn't press 3. Obviously I haven't pressed 3. I pressed 2. Yeah, probably I'm some kind of tired from this weekend. Now when I'm recording this, it's Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow I'm at work and everything, and yeah. And at work, if you are curious what I'm doing, I'm working with ZBrush all day, working, making models. Then, of course, because my models that I'm making are for games, I'm going to 3D Max and working with Max, then working with Substance Painter, and I can probably make a base tutorial about Substance Painter, but tell me if you want, if you're interested, and I will see what I can do. Yes. Because I have made a tutorial about for the whole creation of game characters, but it was like a year and a half ago. Probably now I can make better, but I'm not sure that the demand is very high for this kind of things, because there are a lot of tutorials like that, I think. Who knows? So let's see what we have now. We have almost everything, except maybe let's try the hands to define them a little bit more. Not defined, define. Ooh. Okay, let's see. We have dynamic. Yes, we have dynamic on. I will disable dynamic because dynamic on a very high resolution model, like our arms now are very high, it will be bad. I mean, it will always be lagging and stuff like that. So you have to be very careful about that dynamic when your model is very high. Particularly this subtool was high, and the dynamic was making the things very much worse. But I don't know why I don't have this kind of groove here. Let's go to our orb crack brush, and I'm sorry if I'm shouting too much on the microphone. I will go with the lazy mouse a bit, and I will do oops. Yeah, when it doesn't work, I just Control Z and I start again, because I like it to work. That's the purpose of what I'm doing here, what we are doing here. Let's see, okay. This wouldn't be that visible probably in this area here, but let's do it anyway. And let's see it with everything. Looking kind of cool. Okay, we have almost everything. So probably we should start. Yeah, let's see this. This is still on dynamic phase. So I will apply the dynamic subdivisions. I will go down a few levels with Shift D. And I will disable symmetry because I don't need it now. And I will try to make this a bit more good looking, because it's not that good looking now. Yes. So, to tell you something about myself. No, you know, I can talk about how I'm doing this. I'm just moving with the move brush and rotating the object from... but you are seeing this. Why I should tell you what you are exactly seeing, I don't know. Some people like it, you know. Because when I'm watching tutorials sometimes, and I don't watch that much tutorials anymore, but when I watch tutorials, one thing is very much what I'm trying to avoid on my tutorials that I've seen in others that I don't like. Silence. When I am watching some tutorial, sometimes I'm working also, and I'm listening to the guy. What did the guy saying? And if he stopped talking, it's awkward. It's boring. It's not good. So I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to always talk. I'm trying to always, always speak. It's just that. Almost always. Of course, you cannot speak for 20 minutes non-stop, although I'm trying. And I'm kind of succeeding in that. Maybe not quite. But still, yeah. I'm trying to achieve now here a better looking cape, because it was kind of bumpy, and I'm trying it to be like very smooth. And for it, I'm saying smooth those folds that are going from up down I'm trying to make them smooth, and that's completely cool. Yeah, it's super perfect, but it will do, I think. So now I have done what I am not supposed to do, is to drag too much the model, and the CPU usage was big, and the camera is starting to make problems probably. But I'm fixing most of this in post-production. Sometimes I just cannot fix it. If it's too much moving, then it's just unfixable. Then you know the sign that the camera won't be around for the rest of the video, for example, or something like this. Yeah, that's why you see this. So let's make a bit more the style of the other parts of the armor here. If it's forged and hammered. Let's make it like this, and we will be kind of ready with the detailing. We can start working on the poly paint in the next video, of course. So this video is a bit shorter than the rest, but still I think it will be fine. Shorter videos are good, but sometimes I cannot make the video shorter than 20 minutes because some actions, some things that we are doing in ZBrush are a little bit, they require a little bit of concentration, a little bit longer time, and that's why I cannot do it. This is not looking good, so I'll get my standard brush, down standard, then the standard, and then I will try to improve this, although I don't think it's very much working. I will get my brush to be a bit smaller with the bracket keys, if you don't know how, but I think you know already. In this part of the tutorial you should know that I'm always working with bracket keys for this. And now this is looking kind of good. I will go ahead and with my move brush do a bit of this, so we have a bit more distance and a bit more visibility of this gloves. And yeah, no symmetry, but we don't care that much. Now already the symmetry is kind of not an issue. Let's see the front. So this video probably won't be that short as we imagine. So apply. I'm applying subdivisions here and I'm smoothing now. I'll try to do it with the down standard brush here and then smooth. Let's see how much polygons it is. Okay, it's a lot. 200,000 polygons, which is kind of a big deal for this kind of small detail. But it's okay. We can handle that, it's no problem. Let's smooth. Let's go down on subdivisions. Put this here. Now smooth. Yeah, those kind of folds are not very easy to make, so I'm smoothing a lot. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's finish this. Let's call it done, and then go to. Let's make this a bit more interesting here. It's not very nice. This is not very good looking. I will have to fix this. I don't like it at all. but it's okay. It should be okay. So, next thing, of course, waiting for the processor to calm down. Okay, and polypaint, or a little bit work on the sword. We'll see. Bye. So guys, this is what we will do for the next like 10 hours, maybe. Of course, this by experienced 3D character artist can be done for maybe 3 or 4 hours at most. But since I explain everything, it will be done for a little more time. This interface that you can see here is not the default ZBrush interface, but I will explain that later. The thing is that, let me explain what we have in the project files here. We have the absolute beginners hotkeys, so you can load them from preferences, hotkeys, preferences, hotkeys, load, and you will have the hotkeys that I use. Then you can load, of course, from the preferences, config, this particular UI, absolute beginners ZBrush Nico interface CFG. So this will load exactly all these things with the lights here, with the brushes here, and the materials and everything. This will be useful. I also explain how to make them yourself, and if you are curious, which you should be, I think, it will be nice. So project files include also the final render Photoshop file. The basic material, it's a one material that we modify a little bit and save. The final ZTL file and the concepts. And for the concept, the original concept is this. Let me show it to you. This one. And I will show you who it belongs to, but after a minute. Then I cropped it and made it with the black background, which made it a transparent background in ZBrush, because pure black is transparent in ZBrush. And then I will show you the art station of the guy that made the concept. His name is Bu Zhou. I'm not sure that I'm spelling it right, but yeah, China guys are very good. This guy is amazing. I love this particular concept of his. Of course, if I would to make this character too, it will be a too long tutorial, so we stick just to the night. And yeah, let's see his other works. He's just amazing artist. I'm just, you know, very good. A lot of things. And yeah, he has a very good feeling of silhouette and everything. And my profile. My name is Nikolai Naidanov. And this is my stuff, the stuff that I do. I do some tutorials and everything. So yeah, that's it for now. I've shown you the project files. I've shown you how to load the interface, but that's also shown in the next videos. So let's go. Let's do this.